That is right, I have bought an RX7. I think about 2 of you actually guessed the correct car, so well done if you guessed correctly. The most important bit is the 13B rotary engine. Wow! Look at that goodness. This is the world famous 13B. It actually had a rebuild about a year ago. It hasn't actually been run in yet, so we can't actually do any John action until it's been run in. I've got to do roughly 1,000 miles, and I'm going to be taking you guys along for the ride with me. I'll just show you guys around the engine bay. If you've never seen in an RX7 FC engine bay, well, you have now. It's had things like a new alternator as well, all new belts. I know the fuel system was all revamped. Spec is pretty decent. It's already been street ported. It's running an S5 turbo. This car is actually an S4, so it's the earlier FC, and the later one was called an S5. This has actually got an S5 turbo on it already. We've got a Greddy or G-Ready, however you say it, elbow down there. V-mount intercooler setup. Once you get rid of the rat's nest on these, you get loads of room up front. So this is already running a V-mount, and it's also got a Skyline radiator as well. Once it's run in, I'll be getting a new ECU for it and getting it mapped. It should net with the S5 turbo, I think about sort of 3 to 350 horsepower roughly. Obviously we have got the option of putting a bigger turbo on there. I'd like to try and run about 400 horsepower at the fly on this car, which should keep it relatively reliable, and it will sound sick. Once she's run in after 1,000 miles, we can look at upping the boost a little bit and sticking her on a dyno, seeing what she can run. For now, we're going to be taking it easy and getting her used to John life. I managed to get this car pretty cheap. There are a few sort of marks and a few like rust spots around it, but overall it is pretty clean considering the age of the car. I must admit I do quite like a sort of more racing inspired wheel on these older RX7s, but these Dishy ones do look pretty cool. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, should we change the colour, should we change the wheels, or should we just leave them as they are? There's a little bit of rust here down by the back of the boot, which is quite a sort of commonplace on these, which I've been researching. A little bit of paint missing here, here and here, and there's a little bit of sort of corrosion in here. I think you get again more sort of water ingress when the car sits and it starts to go a little bit rusty, but we can concentrate on the paintwork and the rest of the bodywork once the car is finished. But for now we're just going to be concentrating on the mechanical condition. We're missing a few bits of trim here, which we've actually got in the back. There's a few more bits that need to go on. But yeah, generally speaking, the dash is in sort of nice condition. I did sort of see online as well, these are quite common for cracking. This one's in pretty good nick, which is nice to see. One of the coolest things about these FCs, in my opinion, apart from the 13B of course, because that is the party piece, is the pop-up headlights. Woo! Absolutely sick, proper retro. Quite cool as well when you flash your headlights and they're down, they actually pop up quickly, flash and then come back down again. Bit of a party piece of the old RX7. This car doesn't actually have the stock suspension anymore. It's running on coilovers, but when it did, it had the sort of adjustable suspension, which was pretty rare on these. You had normal and sport mode there, which is pretty cool. All the switches are sort of proper chunky. You get a real sort of nice click when you touch everything. Nardy steering wheel as well, lovely bit of Italian leather. Cheeky little gear knob as well. The gearbox in this as well is proper solid. I'm not sure if it's had like the springs replaced or some of the bushes replaced, but it's got a really nice direct feel as well, which is pretty good. We've also got a cheeky Greddy Prophet B boost controller under here. At the moment, I think he said it was running just under a bar of boost, but obviously we're not going to be boosting it, we're just going to be literally running the car in. Show you guys in the tailgate. Quite unique these, because the boot doesn't actually raise from here. Glass actually pops up from here, which is a little bit different. Quite a lot of crap around the edges as well. This is probably why the cars get a little bit rusty over time, because when they sit, all these sort of leaves and all this mush gathers lots of moisture and makes it a bit yucky. Battery is in the boot, as you can see there. Gigi, hello. What do you think?
I really like it.
Gigi likes the retro goodness.
Retro chic.
And you love the sound of it.
I do.
The sound is the best bit, man. I think we should show well, you've already kind of heard it from the little sneak peek at the beginning, but we'll start it up so you guys can really hear that 13B goodness. Smells beautiful as well. The fact we're running two-stroke in there, it smells like an old sort of two-stroke motorcycle. So it has a really nice smell. It will be a little bit smoky as well, because we're obviously running oil inside the fuel, so you're always going to get a little bit of smoke. But yeah, that is the beast and what she sounds like. We have a Scalzi. Yo, 13B.
Sexy as f***, innit?
Yeah, man. Have you done much work with RX7s? A little bit.
little bit. Drifted, crashed, lovely. I need to demonstrate to you how much throttle you're allowed to give it. Ready? What is it? That's it. That is it. No more.
The turbo on this is actually an S5 hybrid.
Yeah, so in which case, I would stick with that for now. See how it goes. You might like it.
Like Scousey said, we will be sensible for now. We'll keep this turbo on here and get it all running, and then once it's running and mapped, we can actually look at maybe changing the setup a little bit. But for now, it's just about getting the car reliable. The more I look after it now, the longer it will last. In the next few days, Scouts and I are going to get the car on the ramp so you guys can properly see what it's like underneath. Today, I'm going to concentrate on getting it clean because it's been sitting around for 6 months, and then tonight I'm going to try and put maybe 100, 150 miles on it of gentle driving just to start the running in procedure. But yeah, let's give it a clean. Carson performance. Lozzie Bear.
All right, ask me what I've been up to.
What have you been up to?
I've been training.
What have you been training for?
To be the next Ruiz Junior. Today on Detailers World, we wash an RX7 in the rain.
Stock RX7 steering wheel. Definitely not going to be chucking anything away because these bits are probably very rare and worth a bit of money now. I'm not sure if that's the original shifter. Maybe any RX7 boffins in the comment section can tell us, but I'll be keeping that. Proper old school tape deck. This is before the days of mini disc. This car is actually a Japanese import as well. They did officially make the turbo FCs in the UK. But this one is an official Japanese import. I think it came in the country about 6 or 7 years ago, I believe. We've got the beloved 2-stroke oil. You cheeky git, Lee. He's put FC 75:1 ratio, 100 mil per 7.5 litres of fuel. No John action. You swine. Cleaned all the dash up. I put some of the interior trims back in place as well. All the door shuts are now looking nice and clean. We've still got quite a bit of mould and stuff on the outside, but we'll give it a proper clean. I've cleaned a lot of the leaves and the debris out. We'll give it a proper good clean with the airline in a second, give it a good wash. There was a lot of wet leaves and stuff all down here, which I've cleared out. Certainly starting to look a little bit clean. We'll now get the jet wash out and give her a good spruce on the outside. Well, fisty cuffs at door, man.
Watch out.
Jamie likes Doritos. Woo-woo. I like Doritos. Dorito is looking much, much cleaner. Look at that. Oh, what a beauty. Now we've got it clean, we can kind of see a few of the rust spots. This is pretty much just corrosion. There's a little bit here. There's a little bit on the boot as well. Like I said before, these are pretty common, but we can certainly look to try and repair that at some point. Little dink on the wing there, but nothing horrendous. Yeah, like I said, for a car built in 1988, it's actually in pretty goddamn good condition. One thing I forgot to mention, on the back we've actually got the S5 series light. The S4 didn't have the round circles, and the S5 does, which kind of looks a bit more Ferrari-esque. So yeah, this has got the updated rear lights from the later model SC. Tyres are a bit crappy as well. I'm going to go and do the tyre pressures in a second. I do actually have the original invoice here, which sort of dictates what was done in the rebuild. It's quite badly, well, it's quite hard to see, but yeah, just to give you a rundown, it says full FC3 engine rebuild with Atkins, I think it says, including all new apex seals and springs, side seals and springs, and corner seals and springs. Price includes standard engine porting and 1 year warranty, so that's the street port that it's had done. You can also see on here they've removed the oil metering pump, they fitted the V-mount intercooler and radiator, air conditioning was removed, custom 3-inch exhaust, upgraded downpipe, relocation of battery. Yeah, there's quite a few bits done to it, to be fair. Over £10,000 has been spent in the last 4 years. So yeah, like I said before, the bodywork is a bit scruffy, but mechanically speaking it should be pretty spot on. We'll find out what happens after John gets his hands on it. But yeah, from what I can see, seems to be a solid car. Once we get the car on a ramp later in the week, we'll start going through all the specs and show you all the chassis and all the underneath, just to show you the condition. For now, I'm going to chuck some pressure in the tyres just to make sure they're all good. Then we're going to hit the road, see what we're running. We are on 30 PSI, not bad. I'll probably just go up to 32. This one is 24, so we'll get that up a little bit. Okay, that one is 20 PSI, so it needs a bit more. Last one is 26. So not too low. Are you looking forward to RX7 madness?
I am actually. It's cool. It's a cool car. I love it.
Yeah, bit different, bit of Dorito power. Jay likes Doritos.
I've never ever driven one though.
We can drive this one.
Never worked on one.
Nah.
Maybe that's why I like them.
Yeah. Until now.
Until I work on one. And
Next week, Jamie's like, I hate Doritos. I've got my RX7 starter pack. We've got oil, we've got 2-stroke, and we've got water as well for when it overheats. Very first drive of the RX7. I must say the seats as well, they're quite sort of buckety. They're really nice to sit in. And I love the kind of sort of fabric, almost like corduroy material everywhere. It's proper old school. Oh, sort my mirrors out. Good old Japanese electrics. There we go. God, yeah, she's old school, man. You can really smell that 2-stroke as well. It feels proper cool driving this. You get a real nice sort of smell from it. I think I'm doing pretty well. I haven't actually gone above 3,000 RPM yet, and for me that's saying something. Once the weather has dried out, I'm going to be taking the car out tonight, probably down to Brighton, just to put some miles on it and get it running. I'll be doing that in a second video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this new interesting project on the channel. I'm really stoked to sort of get my teeth into this one, and it's quite nice to have a street car as well, so we can kind of keep it a bit more mobile, a bit less of a trailer queen. But yeah, hopefully you guys will stick around to see more episodes on this bad boy, and yeah, see you guys soon.